like if you found the video valuable. 1. Maya Cole had always found peace in routine. She lived in a small New England town, ran a quaint bookstore named Ever After, and drank her coffee with precisely 2 sugars and 1 cream. Autumn, her favorite season, always seemed to wrap around her like a comforting blanket, with amber leaves, cool breezes, and stories begging to be reread. At 32, Maya had made peace with solitude. It wasn't that she was against love, it was just that love had never quite stayed. Her parents had divorced when she was 8. Her college sweetheart had left her for a startup job in San Francisco. And the last man, Patrick, had proposed and unproposed within the same year. So, Maya stuck to her books, her dog Jasper, and her little world. 2. The new flower shop opened across the street on the first Monday of April. It was called Springtide Blooms, which Maya thought sounded far too optimistic. The windows were bursting with daffodils, tulips, and peonies. Too much color, she thought. But then she saw him. Through the large glass windows, the florist was humming along to some vintage tune. His sleeves were rolled up, fingers dusted with soil, his hair flopping a bit too perfectly over his forehead. He looked up, caught her gaze, and waved. She didn't wave back. 3. He came in 3 days later. "Hi," he said with a smile. "I'm Evan, from across the street." Maya looked up from her ledger. "The flower shop." "Yep," he said, unfazed by her cold tone. "I wanted to bring a little spring over." He handed her a small bouquet, wrapped in brown paper, tied with twine. It had no roses, no lilies. Just wildflowers and baby's breath. "They're imperfect," he added, "but so is life." She took them, hesitantly. "Thanks." 4. They began exchanging small waves. Then coffee. Then conversations. Evan was 34. He had once been a chef, then a travel photographer, and now, apparently, a florist. "I got tired of chasing sunsets," he told her once. "Now I just grow things." Maya found herself laughing more. She was sarcastic, he was endlessly patient. She read tragic romances, he loved comic strips. She baked muffins, he brought fresh lavender to sprinkle on them. But she also knew not to get carried away. Evan was spring, full of change and color. And she was autumn, slow, thoughtful, always bracing for winter. 5. The first time he touched her hand, it was accidental. He reached for a book she'd recommended, The Light Between Oceans, and their fingers brushed. Her breath caught. He pulled his hand away gently. "Sorry." "No," she said, almost too quickly. "It's okay." That night, she reread the book and cried for reasons she couldn't explain. 6. They kissed for the first time during a thunderstorm. The lights went out in her shop, and she lit candles. Evan came over, soaked from the rain, holding a flashlight and 2 thermoses of cocoa. "You hate storms," he said. "Thought I'd keep you company." She rolled her eyes, but smiled. They sat on her reading couch. The storm howled outside. Jasper curled at their feet. And when she looked at him, rainwater glistening on his hair, his eyes locked on hers, she leaned in first. It was a soft, tentative kiss. But it felt like home. 7. Spring turned to summer. Evan was steady. He stayed late helping her organize book fairs. He brought sunflowers when she was having a bad day. He never pushed, never pried. Just stayed. Maya's walls began to lower. She told him about Patrick. About her fear that love would leave, just like it always had. Evan held her hand and said, "I'm not here to run. I'm here to root." And maybe, just maybe, she believed him. 8. But happiness, she'd learned, always came with an expiration date. Late August, Evan's past knocked on his door. A publishing house in Seattle wanted to commission him for a coffee table book of floral portraits. A dream offer. 2 years. All expenses paid. He showed her the letter. "I haven't said yes," he said. Maya felt the chill return. "Why not?" "Because you're here." She didn't answer. She didn't cry. But later that night, she closed early, went home, and sat in the tub until the water turned cold. 9. The next day, he didn't come. Nor the next. She knew what she had to do. On the 3rd day, she walked into Springtide Blooms. Evan was wrapping up bouquets, his eyes tired. She stood by the counter. "You need to go." He looked up. "Maya, this is your dream. Don't anchor yourself to me out of guilt or comfort." "I'm not," he whispered. "I love you." Her heart cracked. "And I love you," she said. "But sometimes, love isn't enough to keep someone here." They didn't kiss, didn't cry. They just stood there, 2 seasons in transition. 10. He left in September. Maya watched the U-Haul disappear down the street. Jasper barked once, then lay down by her feet. She didn't reopen the bookstore that day. She just made tea, wrapped herself in a blanket, and listened to the wind. 11. 2 years passed. Autumn came and went. Twice. Maya wrote a book about a florist and a bookseller. She didn't name the characters, but every line was soaked in memory. Ever After stayed open, her haven of words. And every spring, without fail, a bouquet arrived, wrapped in brown paper and twine. No card, just wildflowers. 12. On the third spring, Evan returned. No fanfare, no announcement. He walked in holding a new bouquet. Taller, older, but still with the same lopsided grin. "I'm home," he said. Maya looked at him, then at the flowers, then back at him. "You took your time," she whispered. "I had to grow first." This time, she kissed him before he could say another word.